Hey friends, it's Ask Dr. Heather. I just had to share. This is way too good not to share. There's so many times I want to share amazing information when I see blood work changes, when I see like people's cholesterol come into normal ranges, or people who have been trying to have a baby for 3 or 4 years call me and tell me that they are having all these signs and symptoms. Is it the nutritional products they're taking, or are they actually expecting? So I've had a couple of great, amazing stories, and generally don't go live twice in one day. However, this is an amazing story. So oftentimes people's like, how do I lose weight? How do I do this? How do I do that? No matter if it is actually you're trying to heal a gut from ulcerative colitis or eosinophilia esophagitis, and you're cutting out foods and you're doing intermittent fasting and you're taking products like glutamine or GlutaShield, or trying to get better sleep by actually doing sleep hygiene, like cutting off the computer and doing other things. But this is amazing story about fat loss. I did a Keto 101 last week, and a gentleman said, hey, I've been in ketosis for 2 years. I weighed over 400 pounds. And I asked this gentleman at this Keto 101, I'm like, what triggered that? Why didn't you start at 375? Why didn't you start at 350? He goes, I don't know. It's just what triggered it. And I asked the same thing when someone says like, why did you stop smoking, or what made you stop the diet soda, or what made you stop whatever it is? Just something that triggers in your head. But I have an amazing story this morning about consistency. It is all about consistency and metabolic confusion. So I'm going to show you this graph because this person in 11 weeks has actually lost 60 pounds of fat. We use a Tanita scale so we can actually measure pounds of muscle, pounds of fat, pounds of water, and bone mass. Because sometimes people do something like a starvation diet, or they do a very low carb diet. We talked about doing an HCG diet, which you can actually lose lean muscle mass, because when you're truly in ketosis, you actually turn on something called myostatin to protect your lean muscle mass. That's super important. That's why I bring it up all the time. But I'm going to show you this graph. I'm making sure I'm having all patient disclosure name, but you're going to see that this person started at about 430 pounds. And you're going to see this is very consistent. You're going to see this is around August. Oops, there my graph. And you're going to see, there's computer stuff for me. And you're going to see a very consistent, this is every week a weigh-in, very consistent, and sometimes there's a little bit of whoosh, and we talk about whoosh all the time. So very consistent, just a few pounds every week. It's not 20 pounds every week, it's a few pounds every single week. And then here we did a reboot. So we have about 8 pounds, 8.7 pounds of weight loss this week. Right here was a reboot. I said, what do we need to do? We're just really consistent, 3 or 4 pounds every single week. We did a reboot and lost 8.7 pounds. A reboot is a 60-hour fast where we consume a very low calorie, around 300 calories, some protein, some vitamins, some nutrients to make sure we protect the mitochondria and get some very specific amino acids. You don't want to do too high of a protein during a faster reboot because that will stimulate insulin, which will turn back on the glucose. And then we had an 8.7 pound loss, and then we actually gained, you can see right there, we gained 8 pounds back. This is called the whoosh. So we collapse of fat pounds when we have this based on our Tanita scale. This was simply just water weight here, but mentally this can actually be exhausting. And then today we had a 14-pound weight loss. So if you take out this measurement and you go just simply from here, this week to this week to this week, you're going to see a nice linear scale. So this was right at 60.2 pounds, which again, metabolically, we're checking everything. So gosh, I got a lot of people on here today. Must have been a good topic. So you can see this is about consistency. This person is going to the gym each and every day, loves the gym. He's dragging friends there to the gym because who's more important, the first follower or the first leader? We know how important it is because no one wants to go to the gym by themselves. Now he's got people going to the gym with them, his siblings, friends, co-workers. It's so important to have that community, that support system. We talk about metabolic confusion, this person is today is not the same person that was, 40 pounds ago, 30 pounds ago. So if you've hit a plateau or stall, say you've lost 25 fat pounds, make sure that you're changing something up. Like when my son started working at a restaurant, he was a manager. The first week he was using his watch on Apple Watch, whatever. He goes, I'm actually walking like a marathon every single week. So he just quickly dropped about 10 or 12 pounds. And then after the first 6 weeks, it plateaued because his body got really acclimated to doing the same walking, the same same marathon or the same 23 miles every week. So he had to mix something up. That's when you want to do the HIIT or the burst, or make sure you're doing some type of weightlifting, because you want to stimulate different type of enzymes to actually make your body forced to use some of that fat pounds. So the same thing is true for this person, which may be true for you, that you want to make sure that you're stimulating different type of enzymes. So you don't want to do the same 5 miles on the treadmill every day, or the same cardio workout every day, or the same circuit every single day. Do it at different times, do different workouts, go play some basketball, go play some frisbee golf, go, the summertime I say go for a swim, or go play toss the frisbee inside the pool. Do something different. So you're using different muscle mass, you're creating that muscle mass confusion. We talked before on a Facebook Live about stalls and plateaus, that when you're only doing weightlifting, there's some neuropeptides that actually delay that hunger hormone, so you feel hungrier longer, versus doing cardio. They have those fat loss things on the cardiovascular exercise. So they say, you're in a fat loss zone when your exercise is actually lower. So that's actually true. So make sure you're getting some cardio in if you're only doing weight loss, because that's going to actually help turn off those hunger hormones to put you in that fat loss burning mode much better. Again, make sure you're mixing stuff up. Definitely don't do cardio late at night unless you overindulge, unless your blood sugar was over 100. Then you want to do some cardio so you're not going to bed with high blood sugar, because you want to get that glucose and glycogen down. But I just wanted to give you an example of what consistency can be. It's so easy to throw in the towel if you have a high and you're not actually seeing like, oh, that was just water weight. Because again, numbers can be so confusing. Instead of going, oh my gosh, even though it went up, we lost some pounds. So we went ahead and did some measuring, because it had been, again, about that 6-week mark. We want to make sure we're doing some measuring, because I've had women who have actually lost, who've actually gained 2 pounds, but gone down 4 dress sizes, because muscle occupies less space than fat. So again, don't only go by the scale, go by how you feel. We call them non-scale victories. So I just want to pop in and share some good news, and maybe once every week or every couple weeks, I'll pop in and share some other good news. Again, I recently had a patient. She is in her 20s. They had her on oral hypoglycemics, metformin for blood sugar, for PCOS. And we know about PCOS. I've got a whole video on my YouTube channel about PCOS being just diabetes of the ovaries, about how when you change your diet, change your sleep habit, it will automatically change your cortisol. It can actually help fertility issues or just balance out your hormones. You don't have to be just wanting to have a baby, but that is PCOS. We know is high testosterone. We know when you eat carbohydrates, you actually stimulate estrogen aromatase. I know I'm talking fast. Hi, Shelly. Thanks for joining me. Good to see you here. But you can actually jump over my YouTube video about that. But consistency. I also posted something on Instagram yesterday about consistency being more important about being perfect, because it's never about perfect. Consistency wins every single time over perfection and over greatness. Consistency all the time, you guys, and perseverance, right? Be persevering through it all. So you guys have a beautiful day. Thanks for letting me share that amazing story. Again, I'm not going to give names out or disclosure or anything like that, but just want to share stories, because oftentimes when you're stuck, like, man, what can I do? How did that happen for that person? Consistency and perseverance. It just has to be timing, like that gentleman last week doing a Keto 101 with Dr. Jamie Folk Trent. He just said, I don't know, it just hit, and I was just like ready. So when you're ready, you're going to know you're ready. You're going to be ready to make that shift or make that change. So today is our gratitude day. It's day 16th. It is about purging, about giving things away, whether it's stuffed animals that maybe you have too much, maybe you have too many shoes, too many mittens, too many coats. I know our church is doing a coat drive. Make sure your things are cleaned. I know that you can always be giving extra clothes away. We live in a world of abundance. So maybe take some time today, instead of overeating, maybe cook a meal and drop it off at a homeless shelter, maybe some extra canned goods, drop it off at a homeless shelter, maybe some extra clothes, drop it off at the thrift store. I know here in the Midwest, they were closed during the summer because of COVID. Now they've opened back up for donations. So just our random act of kindness. We're leading into November 14th, which is World Kindness Day. Give something away today. It turns off these happy neuroendorphins, these happy hormones, things called dopamine, GABA, that does so much for your brain, which actually calms down our hunger hormones. So it can actually do 2 folds at one time. So let us know if you give something away. I actually donated 3 or 4 bags of clothes. My son helped drop those off. I sorted this summer, but now it's open. I can drop them off. I think I'm going to go through our food pantry today and make sure I don't have any unwanted things there. I think sometimes beans and other things sneak their way into our house because my sons do some shopping. They were talking about making chili. I like no bean chili, being keto here on low carb. And again, sometimes it's easy just to pick those out. But let me know what you have going on. Regina, we have been running in my stories on my personal page and Instagram, Ask Dr. Heather, and here we've been doing a just kindness sorry guys, 31 days of kindness leading into November 14th. You can absolutely reshare, repost that. So I'll repost that again. Today is day 16 of kindness, which is just letting go and giving something away. You guys have a beautiful, beautiful day. If you have an amazing story, let me highlight you. Let me share you. Let me actually glorify you and bring you into light. If you want to shine brighter, I absolutely want to help you shine. So have a great day, guys. I'll see you later.